So let's talk about your tag, because you have one of the more iconic tags in hip hop. And I always say, I had a conversation with Hit Boy, and Hit Boy was saying for the longest time he didn't have a tag, and it kind of hurt him. Because, we think of like Hit Boy as like one of the more legendary producers of all time, but some of his biggest beats don't have his name on them as so he started using a tag. Your tag is very iconic at this point. How did you find your tag? Like kind of break down the story of how you got your tag.
So the Murda on the Beatz is Not Nice tag. Me and Baca.
Shout out to Baca.
Yeah, shout out to Baca. We were like recording in Toronto, and then like he just said that on the track, and I was like, I should kind of use that. And then one day Sunny Digital was in Toronto, and I was like, yo, like, should I use this as a tag? And I played him the song. He's like, you should try it out. And then I kind of started using it, and then Drake told me to put it on everything from there on. And then that's how it came about.
And now it's like,
but like my old Mama Murda tag, I got that shit like I like bought it off some guy on the internet for like $20. He like made it for me, and I wanted that because I was on mixtapes and shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you're listening to a mixtape, No Label 2, some old kind of mixtape, you would listen, you hear my tag, you'd see produced by Murda, and that's what was driving like beat sales. People would hit me up on Twitter, whatever, like, yo.
It's like an advertising tool.
You know what I'm saying? That was how I was getting money. So I was trying to like promote myself and build my brand,
No, you've done a good job at that. When you first started to kind of like, I always feel like with producers now, there's so many different avenues for you to be like, support yourself as a producer, because we always think like the placement game is like such a tough game if you're an up and coming producer, like chasing placements, going in the studio, trying to get your beats in the right people's hands.
Especially now too, man, because now it's like when I was coming up, there was probably like 500 producers, 1,000 producers trying to do it on the internet. Now there's like 10 million.
It's wild.
50 million, literally like 50 million kids trying to do it. So it's like if you're trying to chase a placement on an album and you get that album cut on a big artist, like how are you supposed to even build a brand off that?
Right.
Like I feel like the biggest way for a producer to build nowadays is to come up with an artist and build a sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like find an artist that you fuck with, do the whole album.
Then they blow up, and then, you know what I'm saying? That I feel like that's like the best way to build a brand.
Yeah, because you build a sound. You know what I mean? I think what's the one kid's name? Logic's producer, Logic's producer did like all of his shit, and like obviously that dude's got a Grammy and all that shit. But
yeah, and then you're like associated with an act, and like that shit goes a long way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like in a way kind of did that with the Migos early on. You were kind of synonymous with like what they were doing.
Because the thing is with them is like back then, like they were only fucking with like 3-4 producers, and I was one of them, or like 3 to 5. They had like a few, you know what I mean? But like they were not fucking with anyone else's beats, and like no one could get a hold of them. So like, you know what I mean? Just being a part of that was like very exclusive, and like everybody wanted my beats.